Crocheting toques isn't necessarily the type of hobby you'd expect a 25-year-old man to have, especially when he's a firefighter. And for Mac Robinson, it's about reaching out to people rather than making a few bucks.
Especially the firefighting, like at times I worry that if the guys down at the fire hall saw me sitting, knitting, and crocheting, I'd probably never hear the end of it. But
Mac Robinson knows his hobby isn't the most macho thing in the world.
people will see me crocheting or knitting and say, "Oh, what are you doing, Sally?" or things along those nature. I'm not going to get as impolite as some people are. But then once they see what I can do and the toques I can make, I'm often getting requests to make said naysayers gifts and toques.
Robinson works at a ski hill, is a certified snowboard instructor, and a volunteer firefighter. He also loves to crochet toques for his friends.
I mean, I'm not comparing myself to like a Picasso or like an artist or even, on a lower scale than that. But I like to think of my toques as a piece of art that my friends wear, And
Here are a few of the more than 60 toques Robinson has made.
this one, which is the original toque. This is the first one I made. Second toque I ever made, and I stitched a little fake red dragon symbol into it. From there, I kind of got more creative. So I got a couple right here with the T and the J. Those are actually my sisters. The Finnish flag. So we had a costume day at the ski hill, and I dressed up as a Ninja Turtle, and I was Donatello.
Crocheting a toque can take up to 10 hours.
In a slow-mo, it's just you're putting through, hooking through, over, and through the two holes. But at full speed when I'm going at it, it looks like this.
Robinson has the travel bug and will be seeking adventure when his job at the ski hill ends for the season. But wherever he goes, his needles and yarn will be going with him.
That's news. A big recall of hockey sticks because of concerns about lead. Sports is next. The Ivanhoe Cheese Factory near Madoc is getting a nice chunk of cheddar from the Ontario government to modernize its wastewater treatment system. As Stephanie Allard reports, the changes will make the plant more environment friendly.
Are you Jeffrey?
I'm Jeffrey.
Looks like I'm up next. Now, if blood and needles makes you queasy, you're gonna want to look away.
Okay, deep breath. You okay?
Oh yeah.
Great. You can relax your hand.
Canadian Blood Services brought their mobile medical roadshow to Loyalist on Monday, and I figured, why not join the party? Well, turns out, at this party, my O-negative blood type makes me a VIP guest.
No, you're a universal blood donor. So that means that if there was a trauma, like a car accident, we don't have time to type and cross somebody. You need blood, you're bleeding out.
Yeah.
We can give you, the person who's bleeding out, your blood, and you won't get a reaction to it.
After checking in, you visit a nurse who checks the iron in your blood. From there, pop quiz. Donors fill out the first portion of this questionnaire on their own, and the second part in consultation with a nurse. If approved, it's donation time. Canadian Blood Services set a goal of 90 blood units for Monday's clinic, with this half-liter of plasma helping the cause. Barbara Metaxas has seen the positive impact blood donation has on the lives of others.
The day, and he looked at me and he goes, if it wasn't for blood donors, my wife would be, and he went like this, and it was true, right? And like this baby wouldn't have had a mother. So, but I can tell you lots of stories like that, but it's just amazing when people donate blood, and I think all of us probably know someone that might need blood, or we might need it ourselves someday, right?
And of course, it wouldn't be a party without snacks and refreshments. But as is the case with some parties, some guests may feel a little ill the next day. Canadian Blood Services urges all donors to keep a close eye on their health for a few days after donating. If something's wrong, call them or go to the hospital. Canadian Blood Services will return to Loyalist in March for another clinic. Jeff Caine, QNet News, Loyalist College.
The former governor of the Bank of Canada is warning Canadians they aren't saving nearly enough for retirement. David Dodge says Canadians need to stash away between 10 and 21% of their pre-tax savings every year if they want to maintain the same standard of living after they retire. And that needs to start from the time they're 35.
1, 2, 3. Woohoo!
They're calling it Belleville's premier entertainment destination, and it's now officially open for business. Galaxy Cinemas marked the occasion Thursday night, hosting a private party to show off the new look. Upgrades include a new lobby, an expanded concession area, and a party room. Cineplex Entertainment Canada has invested $2.5 million in the project, and the upgrades are paying off.
When you look at the attendance for the theater since they renovated it, obviously it's gone up. And when you look at the time of year, usually after Christmas, people don't have a lot of coin to spend, and they're still coming out, and they're coming out in droves.
Thursday was a homecoming of sorts for Cineplex Entertainment's number 2 man, Dan McGrath. He grew up in Belleville and is old pals with Mayor Neil Ellis. McGrath says visitors are really going to love watching a movie here.
And but the biggest thing of all is the auditoriums themselves. So what used to be slope floor auditoriums are now stadium seating auditoriums. So unobstructed view for everybody, great view of the screen. Nobody will ever have a head in front of you again, which will ruin your movie-going experience. So.
McGrath says this complex will be a permanent fixture within the community. That means 60 permanent jobs and a way for Belleville to attract outsiders to the city. For QNet News, I'm Jeff Caine in Belleville.
Thanks, Aaron. It looks like the leprechauns have brought good luck, at least with the beautiful weather we've been seeing lately. Tuesday's temperature topped a high of 13.5 degrees in the Quinte region, making it the warmest in at least 9 years. QNet News reporter Sky Garrell drew the lucky assignment, getting to spend the day outside to tell us all about it.
It's a beautiful structure. It's conveniently located within this community so that...
Leona Dombrowski isn't the only person excited for Belleville's new affordable housing project. MP Daryl Cramp says the project is evidence of his government's economic stimulus plan.
The last thing I know our government want to do is have nothing to show for it at the end. So you have to be able to not just put bricks and mortar in the ground, but have a long-lasting capital expenditure that's going to provide a service for people. And in this particular case, what could be more of a service than a roof over someone's head?
The new building will contain 20 units. 5 will be equipped for the handicapped. In addition to hearing from Daryl Cramp and Leona Dombrowski, the audience also heard from Belleville City Councillor Garnet Thompson. Thompson's had a keen interest in the affordable housing issue since taking office, and even spent a night outdoors last January to get a feel for what it's like to be homeless.
It shows us that we cannot afford to have anybody living outside in the middle of the winter or summer, but really particularly the winter time.
Thompson believes most of the people living in subsidized housing are good, hardworking people. They just need a little help.
We had one husband and wife and a child were going to be evicted. They'd been sent letters and letters and letters that they were going to be evicted. Evicting time came close. We found out that these people were illiterate. They couldn't read one of the letters that we'd sent to them. They didn't even know they were being evicted. So there's how we can work with these people, help them live.
Friday's announcement is just one piece of the $9.4 million that will be spent on affordable housing in Hastings County. This project here on Canifton Road will begin construction in March. Jeff Caine, QNet News, Loyalist College.
First Toyota, now Honda. Analysts say the safety recalls at Toyota have resulted in a wave of recalls at other automakers, and Honda is the latest. Honda is recalling 29,000 2007 and 08 Odyssey minivans and Honda's Element SUVs because of a problem with the soft or low brake pedal feet. Another 412,000 vehicles are being recalled in the U.S. Honda says it's an easy fix and not a safety issue. If you're thinking about getting a new pet, there are several things to consider. Some people may buy from a breeder, while others prefer rescuing strays. QNet News reporter Candace Francoeur stopped by the Belleville Humane Society to find out more about adoption.
Bauer Hockey is launching a massive recall of about 100,000 kids' hockey sticks after Health Canada testing raised concerns about lead. 13 models failed to meet the acceptable standard for lead content in the U.S. The allowable limit of lead is lower in the U.S. than in Canada. The company has issued a global order to stop the sale of 13 stick models and is telling parents of kids with the sticks to call 1-888-734-0443. Bauer will take it back and give a free elite level stick.